Hola clase. Hoy es lunes. Today is Monday. And as you know, I am not having a live session today. So everyone is watching this Ed puzzle, hopefully, and answering the questions. First off, I wanted to go into our week 4. It's not showing up for you because I have not released it yet. So let me go back into the teacher version. So week 4. So here are your instructions and content. For today, well, first of all, this week we will be using common AR verbs in context. You'll be continuing to practice conjugating those verbs. Hopefully, you have memorized or at least started studying the meanings of those verbs. Hablar, to speak; trabajar, to work; ayudar, to help; bailar, to dance. That's the AR verbs in this Exploraciones Gramaticales 2. Also, you're going to be able to describe your classes and fields of study, analyze situations and use tener expressions, and place adjectives correctly in sentences to modify nouns. So if we look today, we are going to be continuing Exploraciones Gramaticales 2, and I will also introduce you to Exploraciones Léxicas 2, which is your classes and different fields of study. So we'll go over that a little bit today. And then you also have to do Exploraciones Léxicas 2, including a escribir. You have a use it activity in MindTap. And the last thing you have to do for Wednesday is complete the family project, the family writing assignment. So if we go back, I can just show you your family writing assignment is where you have to write about 5 different family members. So I just want to open this so you can see what it looks like. So first you're going to fill in the chart before you do anything. So por ejemplo, this is just an example. If my sister was Candace, my relación, I want to put that she's my hermana. ¿Cuántos años tiene? I want to say 40 años. ¿Cómo es físicamente? I would say es alta y morena. She's tall and brown, has brown hair. So you just have to do adjectives for that, for the physical characteristics. And then her personalidad, I would say, es creativa y amable. She's creative and nice. So make sure if you're talking about a woman, or you want to say creativa, if your adjective ends in an O. And if it were a male, you would say es creativo. But for amable, amable is the same for a man and a woman. It just becomes amables if there's more than one. And then actividad. So you want to use your AR verbs for this part. So you could say something like habla por teléfono. She talks on the phone, right? So you want to pick one of your add your verbs. I could say cocina en casa. She cooks at home. So make sure you're just using the right ending for she or he. It would be a for the AR verbs. You're going to do the same with all of the 5 members. Then at the end, what you have to do is you have to write out a sentence or a paragraph. So you're going to say, mi hermana Candace tiene 40 años. She has 40 years. In Spanish, we use tener with age. So we say tiene or tengo, I am 40 años. But we say she has 40 years. Then you're going to say periodo or punto. You can say es alta y morena. Obviously, you won't be saying this for your own family members. You can put in también also. También es creativa y amable. And then you can say habla Candace, habla por teléfono y cocina, and she cooks. So you're going to then do that the same thing for all 5 people. You're just going to pick different people. So you can put, for mine, I would say Susan, Madre, and then I would have to go through and just put 66 años. So this is what you're going to do. You have to pick 5 different members. So try to look at your vocabulary. Make sure that you're using different adjectives and not just the same ones over and over again, because that will you'll lose points for that. And then make sure you use different verbs for your family members on what they like to do. When you're finished writing, you're going to submit this on Blackboard, and then you are going to use that content that you just wrote and you're going to do your Flipgrid. So you do have to record your sentences. So I'm just going to go into the Flipgrid and show you. Actually, it's already here. Family member writing assignment is in that link. And so this is the video portion. You're going to write the answers on your document like I just showed you, and then you will submit this video. You'll just read your 5 paragraphs to record your video. And this will be due by Wednesday this week. For this section, we'll just review some of the AR verbs. And if you have the ability to take notes, please do that, especially if you have not memorized this concept yet. So when we're conjugating present tense AR verbs, to conjugate, it just means to make the verbs match the subject. For example, I talk, you talk. We do that in English too. She talks. That's called conjugating. The infinitive is to talk, or hablar in this case. So the infinitive, we have AR, ER, and IR verbs in Spanish, but we're first concentrating on AR verbs, so verbs that end in AR. AR is the most common type of verb. There's 2 steps to conjugate a verb, an AR verb in this case. First, we're going to drop our AR ending. So we're going to start with hablar. So if you want to write that in your notes, and then just cross off the AR. And now we're going to add the ending that corresponds to the subject pronoun. And our choices are o, as, a, amos, ais, an. Remember that song that we have, o, as, a, amos, ais, an, otra vez. But those are your endings for your AR verbs. So your chart should be set up like this. So you would say something like, yo hablo, I speak. Tú hablas, you speak. Él or ella habla, or usted, you formal, speak. Nosotros hablamos, we speak. Vosotros or vosotras, if you're all girls, habláis, y'all speak. Ustedes, ellos, or ellas, that's a spelling error. It shouldn't be an A there. It's ellas hablan. So those are our 6 forms of our AR verb. The present tense can be translated 2 different ways. When I say hablo español, it means I speak Spanish, I am speaking Spanish, or I also say I do speak Spanish. So it doesn't just mean I speak Spanish, but it could also mean you're doing it right now. Yo hablo español en este momento. These are your verb endings, as we just said, o, as, a, amos, ais, an. The endings indicate who is doing the action. So if you have an o, hablo, you know that it's I. If you have hablas, you know that that's you or tú. You can often use the verb without the subject or the pronoun. Remember, I told you guys that you don't have to say yo hablo. You could just say hablo español or hablas español. You don't necessarily need the yo or the tú or the nosotros or the vosotros, but you do need it for third person. So for él or ella or usted or ellos or ellas, ustedes, you should put your subject pronoun in, because it could be so many different people. So when we're say hablo español, yo no es necesario. It's not necessary. So subject pronouns can be used for clarification, especially for third person, the él, ella, usted. Él habla italiano. If you just said habla italiano without the L, we wouldn't know who it is. It could be she, it could be the dog, so many different choices. Ella habla inglés. Again, habla refers to many different people, so we do want to make sure we put in our subject pronoun. Usted habla español. You, formal, speak Spanish. What I'm going to ask you to do for today is this graded practice. It's on Conjuguemos. So you're just going to go in. If you want to do flashcards first, you can, or games, but spend at least about 15 minutes on this today, just practicing how to conjugate your AR verbs. So I'll just go into it real quick to show you how it works. Usted lavar. So you want to conjugate lavar according to usted. So that's going to be lava. You're going to take your AR off and then add your ending. Leonel y yo. That's Lionel and I. That's two people. So that's nosotros. So you will go to this studyspanish.com. I will give you the link to do this in Blackboard. So you can look under today in this week 4, and this link will be here. I want you to spend a little time on doing this quiz and just studying your AR verbs. So for the AR practice, I'd like you to go to this website, and I'm going to give you the link for this conjuguemos.com. I should be able to embed it right into your Edpuzzle. If it's not there, then you can look in week 4 as a link. It will be in there. But you will spend some time practicing your conjugations. So for llevar, you want to put the two forms. Remember, you're going to take off the AR. You're left with llev, and then you're going to add your AS, llevas. Frida is a girl. She's an ella. She's a she. So we start with taking off our AR and adding our A as bota. Ustedes limpiar. You guys clean. We want to take off our AR, and then we want to add our AN ending for they clean, or y'all clean in that case. So please spend at least 15 minutes on this, and if you're just check how you're doing in terms of knowing your endings for your AR endings, for your AR verbs. For this last part of class, I'm just talking about how today you're looking at Exploraciones Léxicas 2, Como es tu universidad. And you're going to be going through and naming all the different places on campus, like cafeteria, centro estudiantil, la biblioteca, la librería, which is the bookstore. La biblioteca is your library. Residencia estudiantil is your dorm. Laboratorio and auditorio. So those are all your different spots. Estadio, gimnasio. So you will be studying these words as part. Please make sure that you repeat and play the vocabulary and do the pronunciation, because psicología, geografía, some of these are really difficult to pronounce, and I want to make sure that you're working on your pronunciation as well as your vocabulary and grammar. La química, el arte. So you'll be playing with these in MindTap after you go over the words, but make sure that you do study the vocabulary before you start the activities when you first start the Lexicas Dos. Remember, I will be away until Tuesday afternoon, so if you do try to email me during this time, I will not receive your mail because I will not have internet. I will be back Tuesday, and I will respond to any messages you have. But please, I do ask for your patience until I get back. Muchas gracias, estudiantes. Adiós.